Greetings to another episode of Hark the Lark, and I gotta be honest. If you're in office, whether you're a senator or a congressperson or the president of the United States, if you don't know these constitutional amendments and don't know what they say, you should rethink whether you should keep your job. And I'm gonna do my best to just remember off my head what they all do. And an amendment, just so that we're clear, that is when the United States people say overwhelmingly they want to make a change to the Constitution itself. But the 18th Amendment got rid of alcohol legally in the United States in 1919. The 19th Amendment, now that we were sober, we finally realized, hey, let's give women the vote. And so women got the vote. On the 20th, we did something really interesting. When the Great Depression happened, we had a president that wasn't necessarily very effective. And yet he lost the election in November, because we still had elections in November, but we used to inaugurate presidents on March 4th. With the old president being president and the Depression being so severe, we needed that president to get in office faster. So the 20th Amendment said, let's change the actual inauguration date from March 4th, bring it back towards the election day to January 20th. And that's what we've had ever since. But the reason for it was that we had a disaster in America and the president wasn't doing very much. And so we said, let's just get that new president in quicker. But you couldn't be like the election and then the day after the election because there's just stuff to move and change. So you needed a little bit of time for the transition. So that's why January 20th is the date. The next amendment, which would be the 21st Amendment, said alcohol's back and there you are. But the 22nd Amendment came about in 1951 because we had Franklin Roosevelt 4 times. I don't want to do a whole history of the presidents. You can see that on another video I did. But the tradition had been for the longest time, ever since George Washington really, hey, you can serve 2 terms and that's that. Well, when Franklin Roosevelt became president, the Great Depression and World War II are out of the ordinary, and so he ran 4 times and won 4 times. He died at the beginning of his 4th term in April of 1945. But in 1951, when Congress had finally not been dominated by the Democrats that had had so many years of dominance, in 1951, we wanted to pass an amendment that says we don't want anybody to be president more than twice. So we made an amendment that said you can't be more than twice. Now, Grover Cleveland was still legal, and Mr. Trump is still legal because you don't have to be president in a row twice. You can be president, not president, and president again. You just can't be president more than twice. If you don't know this fact, and you're in the White House, you need to rethink whether you should be in the White House. And Mr. Trump, just so I've said one quick thing to you. It's fine if you want to be president again. Let's just do it legal and upright. Ask America to make an amendment that takes away the 22nd Amendment. I mean, we had the 18th got rid of alcohol. We had the 21st brought alcohol back. We have the 22nd that says you can't be president more than twice. Make another amendment, Mr. Trump. And if America votes for it and goes for it and votes for you again, bang. But let's not pretend you don't know what the Constitution says. Let's not pretend that the 22nd Amendment is something that you're unclear about. And instead of saying, well, maybe I'll be president again and I'll do some trickery things, don't do trickery things. Just make an amendment and do it legally and upright. What's wrong with following the law? Holy cow. Can't believe I even said that sentence out loud. Bear in mind that the past whispers if we just listen.